I've been a guitar player for 25 years. Oh my God. Oh, it tasted gross as it came out of my mouth. Getting old. I have redone my pedal board maybe twice in that amount of time because it is such a pain, but I might have something to help that. So you OGs may realize that there's a big piece of drywall over here. I tried to move stuff around to get it out of the shot. This is the cleanest shot, and this couch is moved because plumbing is happening over here. There's an entire room messed up. There's a lot of things happening. I dusted the beard off because I'm covered in drywall dust. I'm exhausted because I've 14-hour days for the last 3 days. There's a lot of stuff coming, so follow if you want to see that. For the nerds among you. This is a bit of a different video. This is very much us in the moment figuring something out in the style of kind of like an LTT build video, which we love to watch. Me and Josh both love that channel. And we wanted to try something like that. So cioks helped us out in redoing both of our boards. And this is basically us in the thought process of how we set the power requirements up for all of our pedals. Different boards pose some unique challenges, and what's the thought process behind giving the correct power to each pedal. If you want to see the full version of this video, go to Phantom Power Hour where it's live now. It's over an hour long. This is the director's cut, if you will. So thank you, cioks and Sweetwater, for sponsoring this video. Let's get into it. Let's see, which one of these? That one's yours.
This one's mine. Oh, thanks, Santa.
I have two. Wait till you open it. It's surprising.
Cioks. Did you think it was cioks?
I used to call it cioks.
I thought it was clocks with a lowercase l.
Cioks.
Cioks.
I will prove it because I know somebody's gonna be like, "There's no use it."
From cioks. Today I'm
Cioks.
going to present a brand new product.
And that's the man.
That's Chuck himself, Mr. Cioks.
I think his name's Paul.
Hello, Paul Chuck here from cioks.
Paul Chuck.
What'd I
Mr.
tell
Cioks. So in here, got a little packaging. I didn't know they were around since '91. I haven't heard of them until recently.
Yeah.
Like the last 5 years.
You buy a power supply like what, once every like 5-10 years?
Unless you get a voodoo power.
I went through 3 of those.
Got some stickers. I love a good sticker. And a...
That'll make a lot more sense later.
Okay. That seems in depth. Got our foam. So this is the cioks Soul power supply. Okay, so this is controlling.
You can change your current and your voltage on here as well. So
cool.
If you need to like make an adjustment for one of these, you can.
Or if I'm gonna like daisy chain or something like that.
Right.
So I've got 5 outputs on here. And then we've got all of the cables, all the cables in here. Color-coded ones are interesting. Proprietary cables?
RCA.
Do you know why?
Full metal, and they can solder directly onto the PCB, so you get a way better connection.
Yeah.
Rather, like, it's because you still have the DC connections on the other side.
Still the standard barrels on the other.
But you get it's a way stronger connection at the power supply.
That is interesting.
Now it's time to say thanks to today's sponsor, Sweetwater. They sent over a couple cioks power supplies so that we could build these pedal boards. I liked it so much, I went back and bought more. So these things were provided to us. Take everything we say about it with a grain of salt. That said, you are going to see our experience as we have it in real time. Nobody gets to see the video before we make it. We don't have talking points that we have to hit, and all of our words and opinions are our own. However, there will be affiliate links down in the description below if you do decide to pick a power supply like this up or anything else from Sweetwater. That goes a long way to support the channel. So thank you, Sweetwater, for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to it.
Can we talk about the form factor of this for a second?
Dude.
This is so small.
It weighs like nothing.
This is awesome. The cables might weigh way more than it. In a good way. Not in like a this is light and cheap kind of way.
Power supplies have come a long way since.
Screws for the bottom.
Nice if you're going into a board you can screw into.
Gotcha. Include accessories, an overview, pedal board mounting. Oh, it mounts to a pedal train. Mine might be too old for that. I don't think mine has mounting holes.
Nope.
That thing's been with me for a long time. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this one out because you said it would make sense later. Probably be important later. Get this out of here. So I've got 5 outputs, potentially enough for 6 pedals if I get my daisy chain out of here. and a lot of pedals. So I need a tuner. I have to have a tuner. I need my Vulcan.
I mean, the milliamp draw on the tune is so low.
Yeah.
So you can daisy chain that for sure.
Yep. I don't have to have my Proton. This is very much a fun to have, but 99% of the time I don't need this one. 99% of the time I don't use my fuzz. This one wasn't even on my board in the first place. I need to have a compressor. Oh, I didn't talk about the soul food.
Is that a Klon style?
Yeah, it's a Klon circuit. Incredibly affordable, especially if you go with the guitar variant, which this is that. And this is an always on for me.
So how are you laying this out? You're going
Tuner, straight into compressor, blues breaker, into gnarly.
And then another boost after. Interesting. You boost after this guy? Okay.
It has the treble knob, so I can use that to shape what's coming out of here if it's too harsh. And then I would go into that.
What's the milliamp draw?
That's what I'm looking for.
22 milliamps. Okay, so you're fine.
Can do that one. That should be okay.
You've got 600 at 9 volts. So this is running 9 volts, and this is like what, 50 milliamps?
These can run over 200.
I mean, still, you could daisy chain all of those together and be under your 660. The Ego only draws 14 milliamps at 9 volts, but you can run it at 18 volts for higher headroom.
That's pretty cool.
So now you're gonna run into those kind of questions, like what
it would be good to have more headroom because I'm using an active bass most of the time. So that gets us to these doodads. We have these little, what are these technically called? I call them toggles, but they have a specific name.
Yeah, toggles.
These are changing 9 volt, 12 volt, 15 volt, or 18. And the corresponding toggles will let you change that. So right now, it came shipped, all of them are down, so they're all set for 9 volt. But we're gonna change some of them to 18. To change them to 18, just pull them both up. Boop, boop.
There you go.
Now that gets me to this, because it came with different, these are your cables. It came with different colored cables that are somewhere around here. And this entire chart. Now, do you want to save me some time?
I haven't gone through
and
it very
give me the
much.
Cliff Notes.
So there's like different flex cables you can get.
Oh, I see that now.
And so this is like the color coding of those things.
Yeah,
so,
and which one's center positive and center negative and stuff. So yeah, all of mine will be
standard.
just standard black. Yeah.
This is the last one.
Yeah, putting the final touches on it right now. I guess this will just go, I think I'm just gonna have to do the good old fashioned shove it under there method.
There you go.
It's not too shabby. So here's the bottom. We got the cops. It's finally over. It's only been 26 hours since I started.
Back to my board here. I basically just laid this out yesterday trying to get something that I thought I liked. We're probably just going to be dealing with power, and if you want to help me with that.
Yeah.
So we've got, again, what we put on your board, the Cioks Soul. They sent the DC7, and I've been looking at this for a while because I've needed to redo my pedals for a long time. I think the last time I built a pedal board was like 2012. A lot's changed since then. The tools available have changed. So they sent the DC7 and I bought the DC8, I believe it is, or just the 8. I'm not sure what to call it. The cool thing with these, there's a link feature. So there's the 7 and I bought the 8. Now this is gonna seem like way overkill for what I'm trying to do, but because I have so many different types of things here, I wanted everything to be isolated for sure. So I didn't plan on doing any daisy chaining, and because of the H90, I actually have to jump 2 of these to get the current that I need to run this pedal. So what's cool here, IEC connection on one of these, and then on the 8, there's a 24 volt DC link option. So this cable got the link, boom, and now these two are connected. One IEC cable, and now I've got 15 isolated options. Really 14, because the H90, it needs, I believe it's 12 volts, and max it pulls like a little over 600 milliamps, 12 volts, and it can jump up to 560. So if I were to put it on one, I'm at 500, and it would probably be fine, like within tolerance, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump and know that is just gonna be my H90. Only other things that I could boost, my Tube Screamer, I can run at 18 if I want. The Cali, I'm definitely gonna run at 18.
For the headroom?
Yes. And then everything else is 9 volts. I guess the benefit I have over you, I've got a lot more real estate under the board. A lot of real estate to work with down here. So I could even do something like this. Run my link this way. I could even put another one on here. It's kind of bonkers. So most of my stuff is just 9 volt, except for the one that's going to be 18.
But they should all be center negative, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of them are center negative, which is important.
Yes.
And if you run into any questions about what you have, they actually give you a helpful little chart here. There you go. Which is really confusing to look at first, but it's super handy to have if you need it. Daisy chaining options, which we're gonna keep everything isolated, so I'm just gonna get regular old cables out of here. One thing to think about as I'm doing this, as I know eventually this thing will expand, if I can keep the slack here in the system, it's tucked away, but if I pull, I've got the room. Oh no, there's a proprietary barrel on this thing, on the H90. The green one fits. What's green?
Eventide is the first thing that's listed.
Center positive?
Yeah.
That's what, okay, this one is center positive. Hey guys, just a reminder, the full version of this video is available over on the Phantom Power Hour podcast channel. Go follow that. Go subscribe. We go way deeper over on that channel than we ever could here, because the attention span is not that great here.
You want to try power her up?
Let's do it.
The two weird ones are on, so that's great.
Literally everything turned on. That was the one I was worried about, but it totally worked. Everything fired up. We got lots of blinkins. I already want to get rid of this and get another one.
Get another little guy.
I haven't even heard it yet.
That was a little bit of a different vibe. Hopefully you guys liked it. Much more kinesthetic this time.
Yeah, I have more fun doing these because we're like doing something, so let us know if this is fun to watch. If you guys stuck around to the end of this one, you're a champ. If you liked this one, you will love this one over here, where I go through vintage 30s of 3 different years to figure out how vastly different they are. And they're extraordinarily different. See you in the next one.